Welcome to NFL Week 15 update video. Let's get to it. We start in Tampa, where the Falcons upset the Buccaneers 29-28. Kyle Pitts Sr., 11 catches for 166 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Atlanta gets back in the win column with a 5-9 record. Tampa, in that week, they dropped to 7-7. The Panthers took first place on that day until Sunday when they lost to the Saints. And now they have a huge game in Charlotte against the Panthers. The winner of that game could probably decide the NFC South Division title either next week in week 17 or week 18 in home against Carolina. So we'll see where this is going through this week. Because yes, the NFC South is getting a little weird. Ravens shut out the Bengals 24-0. Ahana Gilman on 8 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, 1 pass deflected, 1 interception, 1 pick six, of course. By the way, 84 yards was the longest on that pick six because Kyle Van Noy, what he did was a pick and then give it to him to finish off the touchdown there. Baltimore 7-7, still in the race for the AFC North title. Got a huge home game against the Patriots. Cincinnati, their playoff hopes are over, 4-10 record, and there's questions surrounding Joe Burrow's future in Cincinnati. I want to see more of Joe Burrow. I don't want to see him leave to Cincinnati, go somewhere like a Vikings team or a Bucks team or a Chiefs team. Want to see him in Cincinnati. I know he can win in that city. I just don't think we're going to see him leaving Cincinnati. I just think he's just going to want to play very well in Cincinnati. Another shutout. The Eagles shutting out the Raiders 31-0. Brandon Grant, 2 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, 2 sacks, a tackle for loss, 2 QB hits as Philadelphia ends a 3-game losing streak as they get back with a 9-5 record. Raiders drop to 2-12. Houston's defense, number 1 ranked defense in the league, showed up 40-20 over the Cardinals, and a rare name at the running back position. Of course, we all know Whitney Marks, of course, special back. Nick Chubb, we always know him. This is an interesting one. Jahar Jordan, 15 carries, 101 rushing yards. He averaged 6.7 on the ground. His longest was 50 yards. And what a way. And of course, recorded today, he is now active to the men. He has been signed to the active roster from the practice squad. So congratulations to Jahar Jordan. Houston, on the other hand, 9-5. Try to keep their race in the AFC South. Arizona drops to 3-11. The Kansas City Chiefs are done. No playoffs for them. No more. 13-16 loss to the Chargers, and their first team to sweep the Chiefs since 2010 or 2011. It's been a long time for someone to sweep the Kansas City Chiefs. Derwin James Jr., 10 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, 2 passes deflected, 1 interception. That pick was the game-winning interception, and the Chargers are now 10-4, still in the race for the AFC West title, undefeated in the AFC West, but also trying to keep up with Denver, by the way. Kansas City, they dropped to 6-8, and this is going to be the first time in our decade that we're not going to see the Chiefs in the playoffs. And yes, Mahomes has torn his ACL, and which is a heartbreaking sign that is this the end of an era where the Chiefs dynasty is over. Listen, I think I'm not saying that the dynasty is dead. I think it's over, but give them flowers to what they did to a decade since drafting Patrick Mahomes in 2017 to what happened this year. Because since drafting Mahomes 2017, he's this rising superstar that's going to come to Kansas City to fill out big shoes that Alex Smith is dealing with, of course. He was the starter in 2017. He retired or left to go to Washington, and then he stepped up. There was questions surrounding his future in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes as their new quarterback, and they shined in 2018. 2019, they won the Super Bowl. 2020, they went to the Super Bowl. 2021, lost to the Bengals in the conference championship game. 2022, they won the Super Bowl. 2023, they won the Super Bowl. 2024, they lost at the Super Bowl. This year is a little overwhelming for this team. They just brought everyone back from last year, and it was more of the distractions of, oh, can they come back, do it again? And did the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift proposal maybe affect the Kansas City Chiefs? Maybe. I just don't think that happened, but wish the Chiefs best of luck without Patrick Mahomes. Gardner Minshew will start this week against the Titans. Bills come up with a huge win from down 21-0 to winning at 35-31 over the Patriots. Matt Milano, 10 total tackles, 9 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. Buffalo still in the race for the AFC East. They keep themselves alive, 10-4. New England, they end their 10-game winning streak as it ends, and they fall to 11-3. The Jaguars putting a heavy beater on the Jets, 48-20. Trevor Lawrence, 20 out of 32, 330 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 including a rushing touchdown for himself, and a rating of 136.7 rating. Jacksonville, 10-4, 3 games left to still probably hopefully clinch the division. While for the Jets, they are now 3-11, and this week they fired their defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks. So expect Aaron Glenn to call the defense for the rest of this season. Commanders end a losing streak that they've been trying to get over the hump. 29-21 win over the Giants. Corey Gronkowski merits 18 carries, 196 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Commanders go to 4-10, and it's been reported that Jane Daniels will not finish the season, meaning he will not be playing the last 3 games, and we'll see him next season, which is, again, makes sense. You don't want to put a young quarterback in the second year who's dealing with injuries through the season. This season's been tough for them, of course, going to the NFC Championship game last season, and then this year was maybe over too hype of this team. Just finished the season with maybe 6 or 5 wins this year. So they go to 4-10. Giants still number 1 pick. They dropped to 2-12. Bears get a bounce back win against the Browns, 31-3. Austin Booker, 4 total tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 4 QB hits. Bears got a huge home game against the Packers. And if they win that game, there is a legit shot they will finally win the division for the first time since 2018. Yep, been a long time for Bears fans to hear that. They go to 10-4. Browns drop to 3-11. Carolina. Oh boy. You had a chance to win the game and they give it up. It's what do you think, Panthers fans? Did we just lost to a 3-win team? And the Bucs have already dealt with this. I already told them, hey, we've been there before. And yeah, the Bucs and the Panthers both lost to the Saints. Yeah, this is overwhelming for us to lose to the Saints. But give the Saints credit. 17-20 New Orleans. Chase Young, 6 total tackles, 4 solo tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. New Orleans is 4-10. They can probably finish the season with maybe 7 wins. There is a possibility if they can win out all their games. While for the Panthers, they dropped to 7-7, and they need is to sweep the Bucs or win one of those games against the Bucs and beat Seattle to clinch the division. Rams take down the Lions in a classic, and the Rams are the first NFC team to clinch a playoff berth with a 41-34 win over the Lions. Puka Nacua, he's been targeted 11 times, caught 9 catches for 181 receiving yards. Rams 11-3, and they got a huge road test on Thursday night against the Seahawks. And if they can win that game, that will be a huge win for the Rams. While for the Lions, they dropped to 8-6, and now their only chance to get in the playoffs is to win out. Welcome back, Old Man Rivers. The old man Philip Rivers, or Grandpa Philip Rivers, whatever you want to call him. They had a chance to pull off the upset. Unfortunately, the Seahawks kicked field goals to win the game. 16-18. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 7 catches for 9 targets for 113 receiving yards. Seattle, as I mentioned, huge home game. Last home game of the season for them against the Rams. And if they can beat the Rams, their last 2 road games will be maybe a little tough. Maybe Carolina, they'll probably beat them. But San Francisco could probably be, they must win that game to clinch the division. Colts dropped to 8-6. And hey, if Philip Rivers can play like that, maybe they could be contending for this year, for the playoffs. Broncos, the second team to clinch a playoff berth, and the first in the AFC. They clinch a playoff berth with a 34-20 win over the 26 win over the Packers. Bo Nix, 23 out of 34, 302 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and a rating of 134.7 rating. Denver goes to 12-2. Green Bay falls to 9-4-1, and they got to finish the season without Micah Parsons, who is out for the season with a torn ACL. 49ers take down the Titans 37-24. Brock Purdy, 23 out of 30, 295 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rating of 140.3 rating. San Francisco still in the race for the NFC West title, 10-4. Tennessee, 2-12. How about the Vikings? What a win for the Vikings. 34-26 win over the Cowboys. Andrew Van Ginkel, 4 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, a half a sack, 4 QB hits. Minnesota, despite them eliminated from playoff contention, they go to 6-8. Cowboys, with a 1% chance to make it to the playoffs, they drop to 6-7-1. And then finally, the Steelers take down the Miami Dolphins win streak and eliminate the Dolphins from playoff contention. 15-28. Steelers win. Patrick Queen, 10 total tackles, 9 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Pittsburgh, 8-6, and they have to win out if there's going to be another winning season for the Steelers. Miami drops to 6-8. That's it for my NFL Week 15 update. If you have not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more sports news.